This is code.org, and we're going to investigate and modify. Explore this program using the guiding questions on the Investigating Polymorphism activity guide. Now, you might have a paper copy if I used it as warm-up, but you could have it right here as well. Quapow, I've already opened it up. All right, so first we're going to draw a visual representation of the shape list, a 1D array in the Java lab. Include the index, which is the tricky part. So let's just remember this is our shape list, right? And what is inside of it? Well, we have an object, my shape. We also have an object, my rectangle, and my circle. Keep in mind, circle and rectangle, both these guys inherit our subclasses of shape. That all being said, let's test my drawing skills, which are horrible. So I'm just going to draw, so I don't have to write these. What would be a shape? I mean that I didn't just ask that. I know what a shape is. I'll do this is going to be our shape, and then we have a rectangle. Oh, this is getting bad, guys. Blop. And then we have a circle. Okay, our circle smashed into a wall on accident. Forgive him. All right, so here's our shape, right? And it's an array. Now, the index this would be an index of 0, because it's our first. Now, our rectangle object is an index of 1, and our circle-ish is an index of 2. Now let's think about how long this array is. Well, if I count the items, 1, 2, 3, and that is the length. Length is actually 3, and I know that's kind of weird with arrays, but it's true. However, when I say length is 3, which is factual, there's no index 3. That would be an error. There's indexes 0, 1, and 2. So just keep that in mind. It gets tricky. All right, look at this shape, rectangle, and circle classes. What methods are overridden? What do you think it's overridden? Why do you think it's overridden? Okay, so first I'm just going to split these out for readability. What method is overridden? Well, we looked at this last time. If we go look at what they're calling here, calculate area, let me head over to shape, calculate area. But notice in rectangle, calculate area. Notice in circle, calculate area. And so that what that would be called is overriding a method. Because if I called, which this does, my rectangle.calculate area, well, what method actually runs is going to be this one. Now, keep in mind, if this didn't exist right here, this would still work. I could still call my rectangle calculate area. It would just run this method instead, the method in the parent class or in the superclass. However, it is here. So that is what's going to be getting overridden. Whoa, not that. That. And then, of course, students should use complete sentences. I'm just breezing through this. Why do you think it's overridden? Well, my assumption would be that area is going to be different, right? The area of a circle, you need to use pi and radius. Rectangle, you don't. So it's overridden because we want to make sure the correct area is displayed. All right, update calculate area of shape to return 0.0. What will be printed? Oh, okay. So if I go over here and then update to return. So they just want me to, I'm just going to comment 0.0 and I'll comment this out so that doesn't exist. What's going to be returned? Well, when we run my shape is the first thing. When we loop through these guys, shape will be the first thing. So that will say 0.0, but rectangle and circle should still be fine. Yep. Okay, cool. Run the code, explain the output change. That makes sense. Update calculate area of circle to return 2, predict what would be printed. It's going to be similar, right? So I'll just comment out this whole line. So now it will be 0, 18, and 7 because rectangle still has a valid method calculating the area. The other two, though, we are just throwing in junk data. Yep. Update the array of shape list. Update the array declaration so shape list is an array of rectangle instead of shape. Oh, what will be printed? Okay, so what they want me to do is make this, instead of shape, a rectangle. And this is going to be grumpiness. Blop. Now, why does this occur? Why won't it allow me to use a rectangle object to reference my shape? Because my shape's the parent class. It's the superclass. My shape in no way is a rectangle object. It doesn't inherit anything for rectangle. Honestly, my shape doesn't really know rectangle exists. Rectangle looks up to shape. Rectangle can access shape. My shape does not care about rectangle. It says, what are you trying to do? I have no idea what you mean, because this shape list, my shape is a shape. So I might as well put int here. It's going to break it. The computer says, no, what are you talking about? That's not the correct item. So that's what's going to be going on there. I'm going to change that back so we don't get an error again. Okay, they want this shape. I'm going to just copy this, guys. Paste. Control C, Control V on a Mac command. Second shape, new. Okay. So how is it different, this syntax? Well, what they're doing, it looks like, is individually accessing each index. So rather than slapping all this in together, we say, okay, at index 0, I'm going to make this thing. Index 1, I'm going to have this rectangle. Index 2, I'm going to have this. So individually, we're assigning the indexes. How is this similar? How is this different? Rather than declaring these beforehand, so they're not currently separate items, right? We declare them, we don't. We instantiate these within this. So they're part of the array, but there's not another reference point for them. And of course, we can print all this if we want, right? Third shape, there's that. And then it's going to be weird, though, because we changed everything, or second. Cool. I can't wait to see what else we do with this. Really useful going forward. Onward.